Mr. David Faulk, talking about the time that he was thrown into jail, the jail inside the world-famous Houston Astrodome.
That's a fact, and it's a fact that I'm proud of because I was actually innocent, although there was not a trial. What happened was I managed the season tickets of the company that I worked with, and that year was a horrible year for the Astros. Many times the weekend would come and go, and the tickets were not used because the Astros were so horrible. One weekend, on a Friday afternoon, I took the tickets when I found out that no one was going to use them, and I told Linda, Sunday, let's go to the park. So we did. I had 4 tickets, which meant only 2 were going to be used. I told Linda, you go on into the stadium, I'm going to sell these other 2, and we'll buy a beer or whatever, and then move on. And so she said, fine. Well, I stood outside, and I noticed this guy getting ready to buy a ticket, and I said, sir, are you going to buy a ticket? Would you like to buy a ticket? And he said, yes, I am. I want to buy a ticket. He says, you're going to sell a ticket? And I said, yeah. He says, okay, hold on just a minute. And he turned around and walked away, and then he came back. He had jeans on, Astro cap, Astro shirt. He said, now let me make sure I understand that you're going to sell me a ticket. I said, if you want, face value. He said, okay. And he pulled out of his back pocket a badge. And he said, sir, you're in violation of code 3333, Houston domain. You are not to sell tickets. And I said, I'm sorry about that. I take it back. I don't want to sell you. He said, it's too late, sir. You have to come with me. And I said, where are we going? He said, I'm going to book you and charge you. So I followed him. We went behind the main entrance of the dome to around the 3rd level, I remember that, and walked into the jailhouse. There was only one other guilty party in the jailhouse. It looked like he had been there for quite some time. But anyway, they mentioned to me that I was in violation and I had to sign a release that I am now aware of it and also pay the fine. And I'm thinking, $10, $15. I said, sure. What is the fine? $95. The tickets cost $7. So I wrote the check. By that time, it's the 3rd inning, and Linda thinks that I have bailed on her and gone home. So I walk into the dome, and when I walk down the aisle and she sees me, she says, where have you been? And I said, I've been in jail. And she just looked at me and just turned her head. And I said, I'm serious. She said, what are you talking about? And I explained to her what happened. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. It is true. I pled ignorance to the fact that other people get away with that, and they said, well, you're just one that got caught.